Imagine waking up in the world without GPS, the internet, voice assistants, or even the technology behind today's vaccines. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you almost every one of these breakthroughs traces back to a single secretive US agency? One you've probably never heard of. This is the real story of DARPA, the Pentagon's high-risk, high-reward idea factory that quietly became the backbone of modern life. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the world's first artificial satellite. It was a metal ball about the size of a beach ball that beeped as it circled the planet every 90 minutes. But that beep sent a shockwave through America. Suddenly, the US realized it was falling behind in the space race, and maybe in military technology too. The US government's response? In 1958, President Dwight Eisenhower created a new research agency to make sure America would never be technologically surprised again. Later, it became the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's part of the US Department of Defense and doesn't build weapons or run its own labs. Instead, it runs the wildest, riskiest ideas in science and tech, no matter how crazy they sound. So, who's in charge? DARPA is led by a director, usually a top scientist or military leader, who reports directly to senior Pentagon officials. As of 2025, the acting director is Rob McHenry, overseeing about 220 employees and nearly 100 program managers who each run their own high-stakes project. DARPA's approach is simple. Find a problem nobody else will touch, like autonomous vehicles, the internet, or advanced vaccines. Give top scientists and small companies the money and freedom to try wild solutions. If it works, let private industry run wild with it. If it fails, move on fast. Let's talk about what this actually looks like in the real world. The internet, born from ARPANET, a DARPA project to connect computers so military leaders could communicate even if cities were wiped out. GPS, DARPA's early satellite navigation work made it possible for you to get directions anywhere on Earth. Voice assistants like Siri and Alexa, their roots go back to DARPA's early artificial intelligence experiments. Drones, DARPA funded the first unmanned aerial vehicles for military use, which paved the way for everything from military drones to the Roomba vacuum, even the technology that helped create today's COVID-19 vaccines. DARPA was investing in mRNA and biotech years before anyone else was paying attention. These aren't just military gadgets, they're the foundation of everyday life. DARPA's fingerprints are on everything, from Google Maps to the touchscreen on your phone. Here's where it gets interesting. DARPA doesn't just fund big companies. Through programs like SBIR and STTR, it's the nation's largest source of early-stage, high-risk funding for startups and small businesses. SBIR stands for Small Business Innovation Research. It gives American-owned for-profit companies with fewer than 500 employees a shot at federal funding to turn wild ideas into real technology. It works in 3 phases. Phase 1, test that the idea could work. Think of it as a small grant to see if your science fiction is even possible. Phase 2, build and refine the prototype. DARPA gives you more money to actually make it work. And Phase 3, bring it to market. This is where private investors or other government agencies step in to scale it up. STTR, or Small Business Technology Transfer, is similar, but it requires the small business to partner with a research institution, like a university or government lab. The goal? Move cutting-edge science from the lab into the real world. Thousands of startups have gotten their first break from DARPA, SBIR, or STTR grants. But it's a tough road. Less than 1% make it from the initial grant to a full-scale contract. This gap is called the Valley of Death, where good ideas often die before they can change the world. To bridge that gap, the Pentagon created the Defense Innovation Unit, a kind of venture capital arm for the military. Today, they're working with investors to help scale up the next generation of breakthrough tech. So here's the twist. While Silicon Valley gets the glory and the billions, the real risk was taken by American taxpayers. DARPA's job is to place wild bets with public money and let private companies cash in. Some say public money built the foundation, the public should get a share of the upside. But for now, the profits flow to the world's richest companies. Not every DARPA project is a hit. In the early 2000s, DARPA launched something called Total Information Awareness. The idea? use computers to collect and analyze massive amounts of personal data, emails, credit cards, records traveled, even medical files, to spot terrorists before they could strike. Imagine a giant government computer tracking almost everything you do, all in the name of security. Critics called it Orwellian, referencing George Orwell's 1984, where the government watches everyone all the time. After a public outcry, Congress shut the program down, but many of its technologies quietly dawned in other agencies. DARPA isn't slowing down. Today it's pouring billions into artificial intelligence, quantum computing, hypersonic weapons, and brain-computer interfaces. The next wave of unicorn startups and the next round of ethical dilemmas are already being seeded. The story of DARPA is the story of how America built its tech edge, not just through lone geniuses or venture capital, but through bold public investment and a willingness to bet on the impossible. Next time you use your phone, get directions, or ask your smart speaker a question, remember, the secret engine behind it all might just be a government agency you've never heard of. And the next trillion-dollar startup, DARPA's probably working on it right now.